that kind of acreage to use solar,
Yep.
the obvious place would be in the flats of the desert where you don't really have any other use for that plot of ground, and that's where a lot of the energy use is, you know, air conditioning and those sorts of things from that region. Is that something that's being thought about?
Well, on the flip side of that, then you got another whole can of worms with the ecology of that area. You know,
well,
providing all the shade to that ground, you know, what's that going to do?
That's a good point. Yeah.
But
you guys got an easy job, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, real easy.
we get up in the morning and flip a coin, and that pretty much decides the day.
One of the things that we kind of email back and forth that we want to talk about today is the difference between other states and Nebraska. Now, we know we have public power here. How much does that change the process on bringing in wind energy, solar energy, and changing our portfolio? How much different is that to other states?
Yeah, that's you know, when we were you know, talking about what we're going to do today, the first thing that came to mind was, I know this guy by the name of Mark Becker that could come in and support this. You know, I could talk about it, but I think Mark might.
We get asked that question on a regular basis. It's a question that people are driving across Iowa. They see massive amounts of wind turbines. We are a public power state. Everybody has to remember that part. Iowa is sort of a combination of you have some municipal utilities, but then you have pretty much investor-owned utilities within the state. That's where the difference lies. Investor-owned utilities can develop wind farms, and they will get some what they call production tax credits. But in Iowa, they also get some sales tax credits from the state. They also get a production tax credit from the state, which lowers the cost of generating electricity. It's Nebraska Public Power or any of the public power facilities within the state, we don't get the production tax credits, and there is no sales tax credits within the state. There is with what we call seabed, which is the private developers. They can get, they could put up you figure this, say $140 million wind farm. They don't have to pay state sales tax. So there's one of the big differences there. The other thing too is basically you got to remember, public power state. We're owned by the customers of the state. We're going to move along. We're not going to we don't want to raise our rates. We have to sometimes because of cost of fuel, but we want to be very judicious about that and go along as slow as possible so we aren't impacting our customers. We have 5th, 6th lowest rates in the country. I think that's an opportunity even for the industrial sector to look at. Nebraska could be a place there. They got low cost electricity. You have Nucor out in Norfolk, big manufacturer of steel. They moved here because of those low costs.
Yeah, one reason NPPD is looking at other people owning, you know, like the 2 sites here in Broken Bow. If they built it, then that 2-cent production tax credit, you know, is out of the picture. But if a private developer builds it, then that 2-cent production tax credit comes back into the picture, which, you know, that allows NPPD to you know, that lower cost of energy to purchase that at a lower cost.